Mouth on.
Mortal, there is something that requires the attention of one of your kind. You have been to the Midden, yes? The sacred ground being desecrated by the corpses of your kind?
Sure. Who are you? Oh, there's not even a who are you. Do you know anything about Saturnin?
I have nothing more to say about him other than history will know him as the victor.
That makes you sound pretty suspicious there, dude. What about the Midden?
It was a gift of the earth to commemorate the rot and decomposition of the Fae. Then the Tuathas sullied it with the corpses of their prisoners. Mortals do not decay like Fae do. Mortals putrefy and corrupt. The Midden and the House now feel this grisly taint. It is from these halls that we of the House safeguard the oldest traditions of winter. It must be shown due reverence. If there was anyone meant to bear the title King of Sorrows, it was him. Had we not succumbed to the Tuatha's bargaining, he would have been king. Instead, we turned our backs on him. The gallows tree is the silent sentinel of the Midden, demonstrating how life grows out of death. It justifies our existence, defines it. It is a symbol not only of the House of Sorrows, but of the Winter Fae. To bear one's corpse upon it was a sacred rite, until the Tuatha defiled it with mortal remains.
Like a shoulder piece. So what's needed in the Midden?
The nature of my request is not something the Midden needs, but something the Midden should do without. The corpses of your brethren have been thrown into the Midden as a declaration of hostility by the Tuatha. But they do more than signify a point. Their corruption and rot have drawn an ancient Lianshi Mithra from slumber. She gluts herself on the bodies and will further corrupt the Midden if unchecked.
What does Miathra want?
To feed, Lianshi are drawn to death and decay. Something Winter Fae embody in spirit, but which mortals embody in flesh. When mortal corpses began appearing in the Midden, Mithra was unable to resist the temptation before her, and now she runs rampant.
I can kill her.
You cannot hope to solve the problem with a simple application of violence. Miathra is old, and she is wise to obvious attacks on her. Searching will yield no quarry, so you must be cunning. If we cannot find her in the Midden, we can force her to return to her den beneath the house. Find fresh corpses, the ones Mithra prefers to eat, and cremate them. With no food to scavenge, she will return to her den. Then you can kill her.
Easy enough, and it's one of the dens we need to get to.
She is an ancient and powerful Lianshi. Normally she hibernates in the Midden, but the recent influx of dead mortals has driven her to feed. It will only be a matter of time before she further corrupts the Midden with her presence. For the house's sake, she must be put down.
How do I find her?
With great difficulty. She is clever, and hides well when any come hunting for her. To search for her outright would be folly. But with some cunning, we can force her to appear. Mithra prefers fresh corpses. Destroy those, and she would likely return to her den to wait for more. Locate any fresh corpses you can find, and cremate them. Without food, she will stop scavenging and return to her den. Make haste.
Not a problem. Let's see what else is in this place.
Speak.
Greetings.
Okay, so this has got to be the front door. The other one's the back door. Okay. That would make the most sense.
Greetings.
Greetings, mortal. I am a tender of the Midden. I have been instructed to offer you what insight I can give about the art of dispelling.
Minimum skill 7. Tell me more about yourself.
I have always felt magic's call, but in the Midden, the call is strongest. It allows me to see charms and spells and undo them. This I teach to all who listen.
Okay. What about Sidon?
Though we are targeted by Tuatha, Sidon is the only one who wages open war against them. For good or ill, I do not know.
Anything interesting about your house?
Once, we lived in the wilds of the Midden, but as the place became defiled, we had to take refuge in these old halls for fear of the beasts outside, and of Saturnin.
You went to Saturn.
If there is nothing else we can do, if we cannot bring a lasting peace for our house, then at least let us bring an end to Saturnin.
In the Midden?
Be warned, mortal. The Midden is no longer what it once was. It is a place of beasts and dark, putrid magic, unsafe to all who enter.
Ow, that hasn't been that bad.
Remember.
Okay, let's talk to the boss man.
I have a task for you. Of late, there are many in this house who have come to view my authority with disdain.
You mentioned.
As such, there is need of someone unbiased by our house's history and the traditions therein. Someone such as you. We must move quickly. The Tuatha will not hold their strikes for long. Let us stop their next blow.
Okay, how do we stop?
You fail to understand. Although the Tuatha wage war with us, as they have with the Alfar, they do so by other methods. Our enemies are subtle. They target individuals, not armies. They strike at convictions, not cities. And by doing so, they can retreat to where we cannot find them. For all our years of struggle, we know only this: that our enemy is led by a Tuatha agent, Saturnin. He is the master of this shadowy coup.
How do we find him?
We cannot right now. He hides himself and covers his tracks well. But I have a lead which you will investigate with one of our delvers, Tybri. A tender, Katarak, has fled the house and killed a fellow member in doing so. I suspect Saturnin's influence, or perhaps that Katarak might be Saturnin himself. Bring Tybri to the body of Katarak's victim. Though dead, the sorrows will remain on the corpse. The sorrows can lead us to Katarak.
What are tenders?
The tenders are those sacred few who oversee the decay and decomposition of a winter phase body. They also oversee the Midden itself. For like a body, the Midden is a physical thing, a vessel for rot and ruin, that which is required for death to become rebirth. Finally, they once tended to the gallows tree, but that was before the Tuatha perverted it.
And Delvers?
Members of the house may choose one of two paths: the path of the Delver, or the path of the Tender. Delvers are those who commune with the sorrows of the living Fae and the recently deceased. They draw forth these sorrows and assume them. However, most Delvers lost their talent over these last few centuries. But our youngest, Tybri, shows some promise.
Okay. So, what did you need me to do?
There is a tender named Katarak who has fled our ranks. He is somehow tied to Saturnin. I am certain of it. I want you to find him and put an end to him. For if he is not Saturnin himself, then he is betraying our secrets to the Tuatha.
Okay. I don't want to go out this way. I actually want to go out
Who
that
calls?
way. Unless I'm wrong. This is actually the front door, and the other one's the back door. Which, yeah, could be. If it is, we'll double back. It's a 50-50 shot, so what you can do? Ah.
So, you were the mortal. There were whispers that Bizarine had welcomed one of you amongst us. But to pick the siege breaker, I am awed. I forget myself. Bizarine has made his wishes clear, and we must do as he asks. Are you ready to begin?
Who are you?
I am Tybri. I have only 2 centuries to my name. I was asked to join the house because of my abilities. I can hear them. The sorrows in people. The essence of decay and ruin that precedes winter. I can even hear the sorrows faintly in you. Few delvers are left who can hear any sorrows at all, but never have any claim to hear them as much as I. Many believe me to be a liar, or an abomination.
Why do you need my help?
The Midden was once a sacred place for the House of Sorrows, for all Winter Fae, where the bodies of the dead were left to decompose. Our bodies do not rot as mortal corpses do. So when Saturnin placed the bodies of mortals here, they putrefied, corrupting the Midden. Scavengers and beasts now roam the Midden, and the body we seek is deep within. I must have someone to watch my back. Farewell.
Okay. Oh, do I have to, like, light all these corpses? Cremate, collect, cremate, cremate, attachment. Games had very few follow quests. We're getting a couple now. Just had to follow a wolf, now I gotta follow this crazy lady. Yeah, okay.
Yes? body is here. I must begin my work. But the magic is sure to draw the wild fae in the area. Hold them back while I commune with the sorrows. Farewell.
Down, man, come on. Fresh.
It is done. Cadoroc's sorrows left a strong impression on the corpse. He is hiding in the Siren Crypt in the drowned forest. You should go there, but be wary. The impression Cadoroc left on the body was conflicted. Something is not right here. I will return to the house. With the beast beaten back, it should prove safe enough now.
Cool. What can you tell me about Saturnin?
He is the Faithlog Tocht, the choking vine. He reaches from briars dark and unknown to strangle the life from us.
And the Midden?
Before there was a Court of Winter, before there was a House of Sorrows, there was the Midden, a place where Winter Fae would come to die. The bodies left to rot here mark the covenant of the house. Though the Winter Fae may stave off decay to create its courts and culture, they cannot escape it forever.
About House Sorrows?
To be a member of the house is a great honour. Without the House of Sorrows, there would be no Court of Winter, no culture in these lands, only winter. It is the emblem of the house. It is the heart of the Midden. It is said it has always been here, even during the times of the Weeping King.
Okay, what about the Delvers?
We, are the backbone of the house. Delvers can look into the essence of Winter Fae, find the sorrows within, and take upon that burden. The Weeping King was the first to perform this function. The Delvers witnessed his powers, and imitated as they could. Only now, no Delver has this art, save for me.
So where can I find this guy?
The dead do not speak lies. Cadoroc has gone to Siren Crypt in the drowned forest. It was once a mighty fortress, but like all things in this war, it was reduced to ruin. Lesser, cruder beasts and beings walk its halls now. For Cadoroc to hide there, it makes little sense. But from what the Sorrows told me, it seems as though he had nowhere else to go.
I mean, okay. Nice, we have... two dungeons we can do really fast. I'm down with that, so we either have to beat an ancient Lachey. Oh, those are the bodies I were talking about. I never actually looked up and saw them yet. I like how they're really badly, poorly done. They're just flat images. They're not actually like corpses. Yeah, for as much impressive detail they normally put in the game, that's pretty bad. Let's go kill the other guy first. We've had that quest longer anyway. Did we get all the minion stones? Yeah, we did. So bleeding damage. Sweet. We're getting the midden lore stones. I like it. I do bleeding damage, so I'm down with that. I don't have any more lore stone things to do, so I'm cool with that.
I have waited for you, mortal. It is not the nature of my kind to anticipate. And yet here I am, with these emotions thrust upon me. I have only just awoken in this plane, and yet I find change, chaos running rampant. Who are these Tuatha? What has happened to our midden? The Winter Realm is racked by war, my people's magic in decline, and mortals scurry over my homeland. A travesty that I must right, one mortal at a time.
You know, if those are your problems about the magic decline and Tuatha and mortals, why'd you pick mortals? Why didn't you pick Tuatha and kill them first? What are you talking about?
There is an order to all things. Summer to winter, growth to rot. So it was when I last walked these lands. What has happened while I slept is an affront to nature. The Fae declining while you mortals wage open war with them? Impossible. The Winter Court is sundered. If these Tuatha care not for the natural order, then I shall restore it. Come deeper into Tyne Hill and witness the strength of winter.
It's a weird place to get stuck, you know? That sucked. Not as much as that. Good thing there's a healer at the base.
And so you arrive. That you made it all the way to this chamber unscathed is just another reason why you must be killed.
That's dumb reasoning.
I won't kill you outright. The strongest I keep on the edge of life, to use their energies to sustain this place, to rebalance the scales.
Perhaps order is at work.
The world has changed, mortal. You have heard it said before. I am certain. But you can never sense it as I can. The long winter was birthed by my fallen kind, and though it may one day be reversed, it will never be undone. The cycle has already begun its fracture. I only hope there will be a time for healing, and that when I rise again, I shall be reborn to it. Goodbye, mortal.
I don't think we were supposed to actually attack him. I just didn't like the way he said goodbye. It's a double drop down here. Okay. That I was not expecting.